Hello there. It's the Way Show. It's another Sunday, and it's nice to be with you again today on the show. Hope you've had you had a lovely week that just gone. Sunday's a new week, start of another new week, and well, you know how it is on this program. If you're first time watching us, don't forget to subscribe to the show and obviously like all our previous editions on YouTube Live, and yeah, just subscribe and also follow us on Instagram and what have you. And always make sure you tell someone about this show. I mean, this show comes on every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK time. It comes on just because you are there and because you've told someone about it. So make sure you keep telling people about this show. And so we can always come to you live every Sunday at about this time. Today we've got a special guest here in London, who is a senior lecturer to University of Greenwich here in London, United Kingdom. His name is Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji. Dr. Mogaji is an author, a speaker, like I said, a lecturer and senior lecturer in advertising and marketing communications at the University of Greenwich. Dr. Mogaji is going to be joining us pretty soon. So we talk obviously talk about some of the issues, pressing matters at the moment, obviously what's going on in Nigeria, and well, we'll take a leaf from there and dive into advertising and marketing communications. Obviously, something he is an expert in. So it's the Way Show. My name is Wally. It's been a up and down moment, a series of moments in Nigeria so far. I mean, the past 11, 12 days, we've seen the youths of Nigeria turn up on the streets to express rightfully what they think the country, Nigeria, should be. They've started with the NSARS. Obviously, SARS is a Special Anti-Robbery Squad that was set up by the government back in the 80s, late 80s or so, obviously to fight robbery, armed robbery, and other vices in Nigeria. But it's gone, pretty overboard now. I mean, SARS is turning into something else. Um, Extrajudicial killing, murder on the streets by policemen who are supposed to protect you, protect the members of the public, extortion, bribery, kidnapping, blatant killing of innocent citizens of a country, innocent youths who are obviously youths of tomorrow, leaders of tomorrow. And the youths have now decided, no, we're taking back our streets. Okay, we want this SARS ended, and it was really a magnificent thing the youths are doing. And obviously, if you watch our show last week, you would have listened to our praises to these youths who have said, you know what, enough is enough. Thank you, youths of Nigeria. A lot of you thought you were just the social media mouthy people, but no, you've taken your destiny into your hands. You're on the streets of Lagos, of Abuja, of Warri, of Enugu, of Anambra, of Onitsha, everywhere, of Shogbo, everywhere. You've come out to say, no, things cannot remain the same. We salute you from the Way Show. We salute you. We join hands with you, and we are totally in support of what you are doing. It is enough. I mean, how long will the dreamers, I mean, the leaders of tomorrow, how long will they be wasted on the streets of Nigeria? The new thing is, well, the Nigerian government said the army is going to be on the streets from tomorrow. We see how that pans out. But the message is clear. These youths, want their voice to be heard. And I tell you, even if the government in Nigeria is not doing anything, everyone, Nigerian diaspora, we are solidly behind you guys. We are solidly behind you. We might be scattered all over the world, but we still have a country called Nigeria. It is our fatherland, and we're solidly behind you. Like I said, it's been, it's been terrible, terrible. I mean, for us to turn on our TVs or go online and see, hundreds of innocent Nigerians wasted just like that, all because of what? Just because you want to make a living for yourself. So, well, I will be touching base with Dr. Mogaji on as soon as he joins us. Obviously, his take two on what is going on in Nigeria. Like I said, we're going to talk about that for a few minutes, and right after that, we'll be talking about the main issue for today, which is obviously talking about advertising and marketing communications. I mean, with all that is going on in Nigeria, with the government that is very responsible, how can they then bring in um, investments to the country? I mean, if the country cannot listen to their youths, they cannot listen to their people. I mean, how can they then encourage people from outside to come in and invest, in that country? We're touching on that. If my producers got, um, I think we've got some clips to show you now on the SARS protest. So when we come back, we will talk more about what's going on in Nigeria and of course the issue of the time. So we just take a few clips on what's been going on in Nigeria.
Get 80 million bullets to get 80 million youths. Get 80 million bullets to get 80 million youths. I don't know whether they speak French or English, the police. Education, infrastructure, water, clean water, no fit get. Free education, the sharpest minds of Africa and Nigerians.
This is one of the proudest moments in my life. Seeing Nigerians come out angry with one voice, crying for a better Nigeria, beyond SARS, bigger than SARS.
SARS, SARS is a rogue unit of the Nigerian police.
They are terrorizing the youth of this country. We don't want them anymore.
End police brutality. We are tired. Enough is enough.
When I go Sambisa, when I go meet Boko Haram, no one starts anymore.
We die for this cause, make we die. Make we know say na for this cause we die.
It's no news anymore. We are tired. Everybody's tired. End SARS, end police brutality. No reform, no rebrand. Just end it. SARS, your papa.
I'm also a protester, a peaceful protester. So we just get to show our support and to actually say that we are fed up with everything that's happening.
Nigeria don't clock no single achievement. People are hungry. The level of poverty they increase every day. And Nigeria get population pass for Africa. Now we just stop and pass. Now we get money pass. What did they happen now? We know if we stay for our country.
Thank you for watching that. It tells you, I mean, it's basically told you everything we need to tell you, really. The message is simple. End SARS. And end police brutality on our streets. And obviously listen. I mean, the government is there, chosen by the people. You are chosen for you to listen to people, to listen to those that voted you. You are the president of a country. You are meant to be a father of a country, but yet you're not listening. People are presenting their pains to you. What do you do about it? You laugh over it. That shows, you know, the height of your responsibility on your part. And I dare say it is shame on this government, shame on this Nigerian government that you allow your youths to be wasted on the streets and yet you're doing nothing. The only thing you decide to do is to call the army on the streets. We see how that pans out anyway. But yeah, I've got Dr. Mogaji on the show today. And as I mentioned, Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji, is a senior lecturer at the University of Greenwich. He's a Nigerian, obviously, from his name, but doing exceptionally well in the UK, where he is a senior lecturer at the university. He's not just a lecturer, he's also an author and also a speaker. When we'll be speaking about issues bordering on what we've seen just now, and also we'll be talking about marketing strategies, marketing communications, and advertisement, which is one of the reasons why we are on the show today. So, Dr. Mogaji, if you're there, linked up with us, thank you for coming. Be nice to speak to you now. So we're just trying to connect to Dr. Mogaji. So it's still the Way Show, and my name is Wally, and we are trying to link up with the guest we've got today, who is Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji. He's a senior lecturer in advertisement and so advertising, not advertisement, advertising and marketing communications at the University of Greenwich in London. So he's going to be joining us pretty soon. We're just trying to establish contact with him so that we can discuss and carry on with the show. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we're going to be talking about advertising. You're right, Jews, and obviously marketing as it affects you, and not just you personally, your community, your country, wherever you're watching from. And obviously your brand. If you've got a company, you've got a startup, you're thinking about what can I do to improve people coming to buy my goods or to get my services. So we've got Dr. Mogaji. Dr. Mogaji, thank you for coming on the show today. We're honored to have you on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Wally. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can loud and clear, and I hope you can hear me real good too.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. It's a pleasure to share this platform with you. Thank you so much, and also for the videos you showed earlier on. I think it's a true reflection of what is going on in Nigeria right now. So again, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the Way Show.
Thank you so much. So I just want us to start, just like you mentioned, about what's going on in Nigeria. This has been happening now for the past 11 to 12 days, and we a government that is refusing to dialogue with the people. It's not just the youth of Nigeria, it's just the people, because the youth championed this march protest, and we've seen the mothers, the women of Nigeria taking the forefront. One of the videos I saw today, a woman with a baby right in front of her, and the question was of her, why are you doing this? And she pointed to the baby, who can be more than 6 months old, or probably 12 months old. I want a better life for her. I want a better life for her. That's why I'm here today. It was so touching. I mean, so where have we gone wrong as a nation, as a government, and as a people?
Yes, thank you so much. Like you said, I'm a Nigerian, and I think I also feel the same. It's something that yes, you feel that yes, we deserve something much more better. And also, perhaps when you've seen what is happening here, the level of accountability, it makes you really question how come my local government chairman can't feel responsible to give me the information I need. And I think that is where I think Nigerians have got the right to protest. I think we must recognize that it's a right. and it's left for them to exercise that right. But I think importantly, my main concern is the lack of accountability, at least up till now. So if I know that yes, the government has given you 500,000 naira to do something, my local government, how come you cannot show me how you've done that? How come I can't ask you saying, oh, Mr. Chairman, I know you've got 500,000. What have you done to how can you show how you spent this money? And because with that lack of accountability, anybody can just come into office and do whatever they want because they feel that, yes, nobody can hold them responsible. And I think that is also what is happening with SARS and the police killing. Like, yes, if anything happens, what are the processes that, yes, you need to do? Would you have to take the person to court before you get an answer? Even by the time you struggle, you're giving up. Because somebody should have actually asked that policeman, what happened on that day? What did you do? Okay, this is what we are going to do. These are the actions we are going to take. We've seen this in the UK whereby, yes, the policemen actually stopped some people and they found that, yes, they were stopped illegally, we can say it that way. And the police had to issue a public apology saying, yes, we got this wrong and we're going to investigate it. And again, that built that trust. That built that brand idea of the police that, yes, I know if the police is wrong, they will do something wrong. So that means if any policeman has wronged me, I can go to somebody and report them, and I know they will take action. So again, I think it all boils down to accountability. And that's what we hope for, that if we continue this way, yes, people in the political office, I think like somebody said in the video, they are public servants. They are civil servants, public servants. They are servants, and therefore we should hold them accountable. And I think that is what the Nigerian youth are doing at that. Yes, we know we've put you there, but we want something much better. This is enough. We want something much better.
In your own opinion, the government has come to say, not the government, the IG of police have come to say, all right, we're going to end SARS, and we're going to replace it with a tactical team, to be known as SWAT team. And obviously, they will only be involved with what SARS was doing, and they're going to be trained, and training is going to start in 1 week or 2 weeks. It was more like a prepared a text, prepared answer for, just to like, all right, see if we can get these guys off the street. Or just like rebranding SARS, I'm calling it another name. In your own opinion, would you call that brand management? What would you say that was by the IG of police?
Yes, we can call it brand, we can call it rebranding, yes. But I think it's what I tell people is often to recognize that rebranding is not just about changing the name. You can change the name, you can change the logo, change everything. But if you've not changed your brand philosophy, if you've not changed the undermining principles of the organization, I think the only rebranding is just like, yes, you are just whitewashing the whole thing, because deep inside it's still wrong. And also, in terms of the brand position, what's the brand perception of SWAT or SARS? If you ask a 17-year-old or even a 16-year-old boy, what is your perception about NEPA, for example, power, electricity, they have a perception about that brand already. What is your perception about SARS? It's there. So even though you've changed the name in 1 or 2 days, it's not something it's not something that will change our perception about that brand instantly. So I think that is where that recognition comes in, that yes, we are not just changing the name for changing sake, we want to take action. And that taking action is like communicating to people, these are the things I want to do, and demonstrating it. You can't say with NSAS and tomorrow we are still seeing policemen doing illegal things on the road. So the point is, where is that accountability? If you say you've rebranded, that means we should see something going on. We should see physical evidence and physical examples that yes, wow, these guys have changed. These guys have really rebranded. So even though you still retain it as SARS without changing the name, but if you change the underlying philosophy, if you change the working principles, if you change the administration, that I think will even be enough. So even changing to SWAT is like, yes, you are not really addressing the core. You're only painting it. You've not taken your time to break it down and build it up again. So this is a brand that is weakened already. So it's not just about rebranding, painting the broken house. No, you want to make sure you break this down house. People see that, yes, this house is broken, then we build it up again. There was an example I saw about the police in Georgia. And again, that's the conscious effort they've made, that even the architecture of their police station was in glass buildings. So a sense of openness. We are not just a block. You can see what we are doing. And again, that's why I think that conscious efforts need to come in. That yes, we want to demonstrate we have changed. Communicating, integrating those things that you've planned to tell people, okay, henceforth we will not be doing this. Henceforth, these are the things we will be doing. And because if you see this, people have been collecting evidence about SARS from, I think, 2017, where they will say SARS has been disbanded. 2018, SARS disbanded. 2019, SARS. 2003 is still the same SARS disbanded, and you will not be surprised when people are saying enough is enough. So what has happened since 2017, where they said SARS has been disbanded? What has happened? What conscious effort has the IG of police taken, saying, okay, in my own watch, in my own time, this is what I want to do. I want to change the administration of SARS. I want to change the appearance. I want to change the way people see SARS. You don't want to see SARS in leave them in the way they dress. I feel, is this a policeman or is this somebody?
An armor up on the road. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is where the brand. So even though change their name to SARS today, do you think they've got the right uniform to wear tomorrow? So SARS, SWAT, that is all just rebranding. It's just changing the form. But the function needs to change. It needs to be broken down. It needs to be rebuilt again. And people should see that, yes, things have changed. Rather, things are changing.
Can I ask this? So we've now understood that this is a form of rebranding from SARS to SWAT. This is a form of rebranding. How long in practicality do brand change or management, whatever you want to call it, how long does it take in practical terms? Is this something like, okay, just like the idea just come up and saying, all right, yeah, we're changing from SARS to SWAT. All right, so start recruitment from wherever. It could be the same SARS members. It could be some person, whoever, and then dress them up. And so how long does this take in practical terms?
I would say it depends on the size of the brand and how well the brand is bad. So imagine if I've got a a bungalow that is broken down. Yes, I might take 1 week to break it down, then start building again. But if I've got a skyscraper that I need to break down, it takes me time to break it down and to build it up again. So if I want to rebrand myself, yes, because perhaps I'm only just known to few people, it's easier for me to just do a little things, and yes, the next time you are seeing me, I'm different. But we're talking about SARS that has been deep-rooted, like you said, in 1980s. And in 2016, 17, 18, 19, the perception has been so bad. So let's say we are not even negative 100. So before you even come to negative 50, 40, 0, they start building it up. So I think it's going to take years. I would say it's going to take years. But I think the most important thing is those small steps that shows that things are changing. I think that's what people need. That is what we build that reassurance that, okay, at least in this new SWAT, yes, we've seen a block. Now they've got to lintel level. Okay, now we've seen the windows. Things are shaping up. Even though we might not see the full building until 10 years' time. But at least we can see some gradual process that, yes, these things are happening, these things are happening. So I would not expect SARS to be rebranded fully in weeks, even months. It's going to take years because it's been so bad. So we are in negative. We still need to come back to zero, then start building it in terms of the positive.
Thank you for that. And Dr. Mogaji, you are a communication expert. In the government, in the federal government, in all tiers of government in Nigeria, they've got a communications department. Even the police were talking about they've got communications and PR department, what have you. And Frank Mba is obviously the media person or spokesman. Why is it so difficult for a government voted in by the people? Yeah, and you claim that you had the majority of the people voted you in as a government, but it's so difficult for you to speak with them, to communicate with them. Instead of communicating with them, you are always like try to twist things, make people more skeptical of you in your appointments, in what you do, your body languages, and sometimes blatant way you behave when you decide to talk. Why is it difficult?
Yes, maybe I remember when we are growing up, if you've stolen something and perhaps there is a stain on your hand, like yes, maybe you've stolen a meat and there's like the stain of the soup on your hand, and mom is asking you, where have you been? I've gone to play. Did you take the meat? No. But what's this stain on your body? No, it was not me. So I think we need to recognize that yes, they've got the baggage already. It's not easy for them. And I would say previously they've not been put this much under pressure. And that is where we're having this problem. This is not something they are used to. Even up to now, people still think that yes, the president should be communicating with us very often. But I think the media person said yes, the president does not need to communicate with us every day. That yes, that's fine. And I guess perhaps because we've seen what is going on in outside world, for example, in USA, you see the president in that open place every time communicating to the people about even the coronavirus. You've seen Boris Johnson, like even if he's not available, if he's sick, you've got somebody who will come out on a daily basis to say this is what we are doing because they are accountable. They know people will ask them questions. So again, that is where the problem with communication is. If you feel, well, nobody is going to ask me, I don't need to tell them anything. And because of that, there is that lackadaisical approach to it. Perhaps over time, they felt nobody has asked me, so why do I need to talk? Nobody has asked me, why do I need to talk? So past years, they've not seen any reason to talk. But now, people are asking questions, and then it becomes so difficult to actually say, what do we even need to tell them? Because also when you look at the communication process, who is responsible for what? If the president is saying something, rather if maybe media assistant are saying something, is that what the president is really saying? Perhaps the president wants to say something, but you've got somebody else saying, no, Mr. President, don't say this. We'll say this for you. So there's problem with communication because often they've not been challenged to talk. They've not been probed. They've not been asked a lot of questions. And I think with social media, it's also making it very, very important because now you can tweet and you expect an answer. But you won't be surprised as well if they don't answer you. But that is where the question comes in. If I ask my local government a question and she does not answer me, what do I do? Who do I raise? Who do I ask? Even at work here, if a student sends you an email, in 48 hours, you need to respond. So if you don't respond, you have the line manager who they can tell you, excuse me, I sent an email to Emmanuel and he didn't respond to me in 48 hours. What's going on? Because there's accountability. There's something expected of me. So if I send a tweet to I'm just even starting local government chairman, like the lowest possible. If I send a tweet or a text message to my local government chairman, do I expect an answer in 48 hours? So if I don't get an answer in 48 hours, what happened? What do I need to do? I come to social media, okay? It doesn't respond. What do I do? So that is where the problems, until we have that sense of accountability and for the civil servant, the public servant to feel that, yes, I need to answer Emmanuel. So if I answer him today, tomorrow he asks me another question, then I will be on my feet to know, if I go out tomorrow, Emmanuel will ask me a question. They will ask me this, they will ask me that, and that will make them improve. And also for them to feel there is need for them to be open and to feel responsible for the office they hold.
So where do you think this protest is going to lead the people of Nigeria and obviously the government, because it started as a SARS. Now it's gone to end SWAT. There's no response from the government. There's a cheeky email, so it's a cheeky tweet going on Twitter about the police. The army said they're going to an Operation Crocodile Tears or what have you, smile, and the people are responding to the army to say, yeah, we have alligator frown. So I mean, it's becoming as cheeky, as funny as it sounds. It is a very serious issue.
It is, yeah.
The one thing we don't want on the streets of Nigeria is the army coming out to tackle these peaceful demonstrators. So where do we go? Where do you think this is going to end?
Yes, from my own understanding and from what I've been observing, I think firstly we need to give credit to the way it has been managed so far. I think, yes, we need to give credit to everybody. And I think that's one thing. There has been no leader. Everybody is just involved in this. So credit to those who have been organizing it so far. And also from the way it has evolved from just answers to the question of change the governance in Nigeria. So not even the government. I think we need to be clear. We're not changing the government, but we're changing the governance, the way you govern, the way you do things. And so where I'm seeing this going is the political office holder and the public servant feeling more of the heat and tightening their shirt and everything, and recognizing the need to be more responsible, to be more accountable, and also to engage with people. So you know that there's this heat that you are feeling. So if you don't do the right thing, people will ask you questions. But I think on a long term, we should be planning towards 2023. That yes, we've still got 3 more years' time. If we can maintain this momentum, let's just keep going like that. Build that momentum, so that when the time comes in 2023, if we can have a youth come down to say that, yes, this is what we want to do. And again, the person will know that, yes, I have these huge people following me since this years, and if I go there, I should not mess up. So I think we should be looking forward to a long-term plan for 2023. Perhaps if we can't change things now, what will happen by 2023? What do we need to put in place? Could it be having GoFundMe account to raise money for political parties that will support the youth? For example, if a youth wants to go for APC, yes, how much is a form? That is millions. And do you think so a youth can just afford that without the support? But on a short-term basis, we want more accountability from the government. Even if your ending has ended, but at least put structures in place. But a long-term basis, I'm looking at some change in terms of the youth taking more responsibility in 2023.
We will be going on a short break, but before we go on a short break, let's just now leave the protest and go into something you did sometime in May, June, when you did a study on the impact of COVID-19 on transportation in Lagos, Nigeria, which was a very, very interesting study, because at that time we were thinking COVID-19 will be massive in Nigeria. I mean, we see in developed countries, in the UK where we are, in America, Italy and the rest of Europe, struggle to cope with COVID-19, lockdown upon lockdown. In Nigeria, it wasn't like that, thankfully. But from that study, what made you embark on that study? And what was the reception of that study, and what was the outcome of that study? Was it finally agreed by Lagos state government, obviously one of the largest cities in the world, especially one of the largest cities in Africa? So how did it go for you?
Like I said, I'm a Nigerian, and this is something I'm always interested in. I grew up in Lagos. I remember I lived in normal phase 2, Ojodubega. So I was very conversant with Lagos, and often you feel that, yes, what is happening back home? Because the fact that you are here doesn't mean you should not be interested in what is happening there. And I think what made that so interesting is, especially again, that boils down back on the system, on the, let's say, educational system in Nigeria. This could have been something conducted in Nigeria by Nigerian, but perhaps it was nothing of interest to them. There was something which was more important than transportation research. So that was why I came in. And again, you can understand, if you've got a good study, it will be well received. And at least it got published, which was a credit. And I think the response has been so positive, especially from individuals and from private organizations, who recognizes the fact that yes, there is a problem, a systematic problem in Lagos with regards to transportation, and thinking about, yes, long term, what do we need to do? So in terms from the government side, there's not been much response from the government side, I must say. But I think from the private sector, at least I've been able to communicate with two people that yes, were involved in private transportation, and it was so interesting because they actually contacted me and like, yes, we saw this your study, and it recognizes that the fact that there's a lot of things happening about COVID outside Europe, outside even America. Everybody around this world is experiencing that, and it's just left for us to uncover it and help us to solve it in one way or the other. So the motivation has been my interest in Nigeria, has been my interest in understanding what is going on in that part of the world. The reception has been fine from a positive, from a private sector point of view, but from the government, I even sent it to the commissioner of transportation. There was no response. But again, I could imagine they've got a lot of things going on. And what motivated me was, even in UK, you've got researchers contributing to policies with the government. But perhaps in Nigeria, we don't recognize the impact that research can make in policy development. Again, that's a different ballgame about Nigeria. But that would not stop us from doing what we can do. And it's been a pleasure doing that. I enjoyed it because I feel if I can be in Nigeria, at least this is my contribution that can be seen anywhere around the world. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity that the journal has given me to publish that. So it's been a positive experience for me. Thank you so much for bringing that. Thank you.
Yeah, we will still talk more about transportation and Nigeria, but we go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the show, and obviously the interesting topic and talks with Dr. Mogaji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So we're taking a short break. We'll be back soon. Welcome back. It's the Way Show, and I've been talking to Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji, who is a senior lecturer at the University of Greenwich in London, United Kingdom. We've been talking. We started with what's been going on in Nigeria for the past 12 days. The issue on SARS, the banding of SARS to SWOT and what have you. The next steps, and now we've spoken about the study, the research conducted by Dr. Mogaji so on transportation in Lagos, Nigeria, which is one of the most popular cities in the world. So, Dr. Mogaji, Still going on the issue of the pandemic and transportation. Lagos is a very unique city. I mean, it's not a food producing city or state. Transportation has always been a problem there in Lagos State. No matter how many BRT buses they probably will get in the city, it's still not going to solve the problem. We in the 80s, the former governor of the state, Governor Jakonde, wanted to build the metro line. And obviously, when the military came, in the person of the present president, they decided to shut down and stop the metro line. Do you see, going by your experience and obviously the research and the study you published on transportation, what would you say would be the best way to tackle transportation problem in Lagos?
Wow, that's that's interesting. Thank you so much for that question. I think two things that we want to discuss. Firstly, is about the need to explore other means of transportation. I think we know that, but what's going on? I guess that's often the whole question that yes, we know what to do, but what's going? I think there's this huge reliance on road.
Mm.
Yes, and huge because BRT, even private cars, there's that huge reliance. But we also need to recognize that yes, it might not be commercially viable, but notwithstanding, that's where the government comes in to explore other means of transportation. I think the monorail is still being built. Yes, we are seeing the bridges and we are seeing it, and hopefully that will bring some changes. But you also need to recognize that yes, the train is there and the waterway is there. Yes, we need to explore different means of transportation. And also, I think we need to long term look at the built environment, the design of the environment. Yeah, maybe if I can just quickly bring this in. My first degree was in architecture, and that was actually what got me more interested in this transportation research and more into infrastructure that's a different story, before I changed to design and marketing communication. So my first degree was in architecture, and there's need for us to recognize the design of the built environment. Is there a pathway for cycling? Because in the study, nobody reported that they cycle in Lagos. It was so interesting. You feel how come? But it's understandable because even those who are still those who are still traveling by the road, they don't even feel safe. Container will fall down, accident will happen, it will happen.
Yeah.
Regardless of you on your bicycle.
Yeah.
How about using scooters? Can you use that? No, because even the road is not smooth enough for you to use your scooter. So those things are not immediate. That's not even immediate now. But it's something we can look forward to the future. That yes, how do we redevelop our environment to accommodate other forms of transportation, like walking, cycling, using scooters? Like yes, so I can feel I've gone from let's say Jodibega to Marina. From Marina, I can use my bicycle. I pick a bicycle from there. I go to Marina. I'm done. I come back, I use the train back to Bega. It could be done, but I think he's recognizing the fact that it's Nigeria. We've got different challenges, even political, like you said. Perhaps if Jakande was there now, yes, was there and things could have happened, but things changed. But I think we need to recognize the fact that the political setup can also be a challenge. But I think for Lagos, things has been stable with APC. That yes, you feel everybody's standing over, but we still need to have a long-term plan to look for alternative means of transportation and also to support that change in travel behavior. Why do I need to go to work today? Can I work from home? So if I can work from home, that means I'm saving one car from the road. So I guess that is something we need to explore. And the fortunate thing is we've got good examples around the world. So this is not something new. This is not a rocket science. We just need to recognize the need that yes, we need to take action. Credit to Lagos State government. I think they are doing well with the BRT. I spoke with, especially with the Oshodi terminal. I think there are some changes, but with Lagos now, you can imagine we want something to be done faster, as soon as possible. So we give credit to what they've done, but I think we still want something much more better.
Okay, let's now again divert from there and go into proper marketing, communications, and advertising. So Nigeria seems to be in the third year now when it comes to social media. It's now a platform that people can do anything, so to say, quite unlike in the past. And we're seeing quite a lot of advertisement and communication process going on on social media, Instagram, or what have you. There's this particular thing, a trend I've noticed on social media, especially with Instagram, where people, when you see intellectuals, people talking about growing business, people talking about educational stuff, people talking about serious-minded stuff on Instagram, they don't seem to have quite a lot of followers. But when you see people, this is aside, maybe celebrities, you're into acting, you're a songwriter, you're what have you. But you see the other side, they call themselves the brand influencers. And all they do is just probably show themselves, on Instagram, and they seem to gather quite a lot of followership. Why is this so easy? Does it have to do with our thought process, or how intellectual inclined we are, or we're just following the trend of what developed countries are doing?
Yes, thank you so much for raising that valid question. But I think you need to recognize the fact that Nigeria, we love to have fun. Like, yes, anything goes. And one thing I will let you know is you can imagine how much that's, I think, if I can remember correctly, how much is being given to, let's say, somebody who the best graduating student in a university, and how much is being given to, let's say, Miss Nigeria, for example. A recent one is actually
Nigeria.
Yes, you can imagine. But again, that's who we are. That's our collective identity. We must acknowledge that. But there are some few individuals as well who will not buy into that. So we can't all label Nigerians to be jolly gallivanting around, enjoying social media. No, we can't do that. So we need to recognize, even though the majority might follow that, which seems so easy. Let me just forget my sorrow, brother. Let me just enjoy myself. It's just this life. Nothing will happen. Just enjoy yourself. And again, they are getting that followership. They are getting that brand influencer, all those things. But I think it's a matter of the form and the function, like in terms of quality versus quantity. So today, you might just have you might think you're enjoying it now, but what's the long-term implication of it? So if you are just following someone for following sake, okay, what are you benefiting from it on the long term? So short term, you might enjoy yourself, you might have fun, but long term, what I benefit from it? So it's two things. Firstly, from those who are following, let's say the fun thing, those who are following the brand influencers. Yes, are you following just because you want to win giveaway? Are you following because you just want to win the next competition? Are you following because you just want to entertain yourself? And also the content creators. Are you just creating because that is what people want? How can you sustain yourself for the future? What are those things that will be out there for you to say, yes, this is what I've done? And again, it's left for us to encourage those who are creating things which are educational, things which are business-minded. For example, like shows like this, we need to encourage them that, you know what, don't give up. People are still watching you. People will still, one day, you will find somebody that will interest you. But you see, that's why I'm here. If I was, at least I was able to do something for you to recognize me, for me to be here. So it's just left for us to encourage those who are doing what we found to be intellectually demanding, to encourage them, you know what, keep going. you will do it. You will succeed. Keep going. So the fact does not exclude that those who are perhaps being brand influencer, they might not be doing the wrong thing. But let's look at the long-term implication. Let's look at the long-term benefit of what they are doing. So we might be enjoying it right now, but I think it's left for us, like I said again, to encourage in terms of following, in terms of engaging with their content. It's just a like, a comment, sharing their content, especially those who are creating things that we found so engaging. So we've got a lot to do as those who are interested in intellectual content to share, to engage, and also to let those creators know we appreciate the work they are doing.
Before we go, I want you to compare the advertising and marketing communication as it is in here in the UK and in Nigeria, especially when it comes to teaching it. How acceptable is it? Because in Nigeria now, anyone can just pick up and say, you know what, because I've got X numbers of people on Instagram or Twitter, and I've got a laptop and whatever, then I am a pro in marketing, communication, or advertisement. So what are the do's and don'ts of it, and how can you compare the two countries?
Yes, thank you. I guess we need to recognize that in terms of country, we're actually different. Again, in terms of accountability, in terms of consumers, in terms of regulations, we are quite different. So, for example, there are some things you can't just put as an advert here. People will complain about ASA will ban your adverts because there is a code book, there is a law. Again, we can't say that is not happening in Nigeria. There is the Advertising Practitioner Associations of Nigeria. They have it, but how can they enforce that? How do they know that? Yes, how would they know what is going on in terms of even accountability? So at least here, if you know something is wrong, you know who to report to. If you report to ASA knows who has designed that advert and who to question. But back in Nigeria, if you see something out of this world, who do you talk to? Okay, if you reported to the APCON, who is after APCON going to contact? So again, it lets you know that yes, in terms of regulations, things are different, but also in terms of, let's say, inclusivity and diversity acceptance, Nigeria, again, anything goes. As far as they're not being religious, I guess that is something we are very mindful in UK, in Nigeria. But in UK here, you need to respect, you need to make your advert does not offend people, because you've got like the Equality Act, which has the protected characteristics. You can't just do an ad, even if you do, and I do share an example of the KFC advert with my student. Ordinary KFC advert whereby a chicken was dancing to a song, people complained about that advert because they felt that was not good, that was offensive. And in Nigeria, that could go. But we also need to recognize that, yes, our expectations are different. The level of the consumers we deal with. In Nigeria, I used to like the adverts in Pidgin, like, yes, they just break it down. Then we understand. But here, there are some things you need to do. The ways you need to position advertisements for people to engage with it. And that will also influence the teaching. I was able to do some guest lecturing with some students at the faculty, the university, Fountain University, a private university in Osogbo. And I think, yes, some private universities are also recognizing that need to integrate education into the communication process. Because when I said earlier on, I did architecture, like, yes, there was nothing like advertising there was not, I think the closest was mass communication. And you feel, does mass communication makes you an advertiser? No. Because then would you want to go to art school? Art school is more visual artist, you're more of a graphic designer. Again, does that alone make you an advertiser? You need to recognize the brand, make sure your message reinforce what the brand is all about. You need to recognize the dynamics within the industry itself, the way you pitch for businesses, the way you actually engage with regulators. You need to recognize the consumers as well. So there are practices, there are theories, there are practical ways of doing that. So I would not want to compare Nigeria and UK because again we are different. But it's just left for us to recognize those things that made each country unique, and to recognize the fact that yes, that is the way they are going to do things. For example, an advert in UK might not work in Nigeria because the way people will see it, like, yes, what is this? This is nonsense. But notwithstanding, there are some adverts. I still remember this bank PHP advert whereby water is a car will be running on water. I remember the sky advert. Like, there are some good adverts coming from Nigeria. But again, I think we should not let non-professionals dilute the whole landscape of things, so that we know that, like you said, if I've just got 1,000 followers, then I can see myself as an advertiser. Does that really make you an advertiser? Do you know what it is? And again, that's where I talk. For example, in UK now, you can't do an advert as an Instagram celebrity without putting the hashtag advert, AD. People must know it's an advert. You must declare it. But again, it's something different. But that is Nigeria's style for you. And one thing I want to recognize in Nigeria again is the use of the those who make skits. That is something that is popular in Nigeria. I think it's, but perhaps in UK we don't really get into that. That's something that is unique about Nigeria as well. You've got many comedians, many influencers making skits, making comedy to integrate advertisement into them. But again, where's the regulations in that? Where is that terms and condition? Where is that small asterisk at the end that tells you, yes, buyers beware, that yes, this is an advert. Don't just think I'm selling, I'm just making a skit. So we want to make sure that yes, advertisements are not misleading, they are truthful, and they are honest. They are not offending people. So I will not want to compare Nigeria and UK, but we need to recognize we've got differences that makes our advertising processes to be different.
Brilliant. I wish we had more time to talk about many other issues.
Yeah, it's nice conversing with you.
It's been absolute delight talking to you, Dr. Mogaji, and I do hope as the time goes on, we'll be able to call on you, and obviously talk about so many things. I mean, it's so many we can talk about. I mean, I was just thinking about the social media bill, which is in Nigeria, which is another. We can talk all day about that.
Don't just start that. Like if it's a different. I think again that's where the communication comes in. Look at the Karma Act. That yes, they just put. Who knows what is really going on? Again, that is where that communication comes in. You need to be responsible to tell people this is what we are doing. This is how it's going to affect you. For example, look at Brexit. They are telling you now if you want to travel abroad, you need to be mindful. That is communication. Like yes, this is going to happen. Karma is coming out. This is now. It's just. But hopefully, as things goes on, yes, we will get better. We get better. We are getting more demanding. We're asking the question. We are probing them. So let's see what comes up by next week.
By next week. Hopefully, it will be something positive.
Let's start from there. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mogaji, for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Same here.
We wish you all the very best. And hopefully one day we'll bring you back in to talk about quite a lot of other issues. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So thank you. That's our show for today. I mean, interesting talking to Dr. Mogaji, Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji, who is a senior lecturer at the University of Greenwich in London, UK. We've talked so much about everything today. We touched every aspect of what's been happening in Nigeria, right from SARS to SWAT to communications to government to transport, food, marketing, communications, everything. And it's been a pleasure talking about everything today. So hopefully one of these days we would be bringing in Dr. Mogaji again for coming. On the show so that we can talk about wide range of issues. But that's the program for today. It's been a pleasure hosting this program today. Thank you for watching. Please tell somebody about this show. We need to get more people subscribed to our show so that we can always bring you something good, something better on the show. But before we go, I just need to let you in on a secret. Not a secret, everyone will know that in a couple of seconds. Something coming out of our stables very soon. We're just going to play the advert of that thing, and I'll come back and tell you a little bit more about it. I guess you've seen that. Yeah, welcome back. You've seen that. So it's the football show Monday. So it's something coming out of our stables from next month in November. So all we'll be talking about football on Monday. So we'll have a panel of very interesting people, some of which you've seen on this show before. I will be coming. We'll be talking about football as it affects Nigerians, Africans in Africa, and obviously the rest of the world. So we'll be discussing, and we'll be catching up. I will be giving you more news, more juicy stuff about football as it comes. So keep a date with us. It's good. It's called the Football Show Monday. Okay, so it's going to be every Monday, 8 o'clock. So it's going to be coming on. It's in your screens from November. So the football show Mondays from November, 8 o'clock. So keep a date with us from there. Obviously, we'll be updating you as time goes on and bringing up the clip the clip you just saw just now to let you know about the show. So it's the show for today, the Way Show Weekly. That's our show for today. Special thanks to my co-producer and the man behind the scene, who obviously you don't see most of the time. His name Yomi Omoguja, who is our co-producer of the show, making sure everything goes as it should. And also special thanks to Dr. Emmanuel Mogaji, who is the author, a speaker, a senior lecturer at the University of Greenwich, will also join me on the show today. Special thanks to him, and special thanks to you for watching us today. Everyone that's made comments on the show, Sandra, Fifi, Seed, Bumi, Jimmy, Adama, Tope, host of others. Thank you for making comments, for commenting on the show. Spread the word about this show. Like I said, we need more subscriptions. Yeah, we need more people liking our videos, so we can bring in more quality stuff. Okay, follow us on Instagram. It's the.way.show on Instagram. So the next week, when I come to you on this show again at 8 o'clock UK time, to the Nigerian youths, we're right behind you. Keep the struggle on. Keep the struggle on. We're right behind you. And to you out there, please, please keep safe. Thank you.